Okay, so I talked in creativity hack number 5 about process, because the journey, to use an expression, the journey is as important as the destination. So for this one, I want to talk about method. It's a very scientific expression, but process, that journey piece. What is it? What is yours? And through looking at my process, I have a process is slightly different to other artists that I go on courses with. My normal day-to-day mind trip job is very head-based, and I like to paint emotions. So my process method is about capturing those emotions, and the big idea from step 5 then drives that emotion process, and then the emotions of what I'm feeling. So I'm really trying to recreate, recapture, but also to take the emotions of what's going on for me there and then. And I use colour to link with those emotions. So my paintings are about trying to express the joy or the sense of the feeling of the place or the time at that moment in time. And the way I paint is emergent. So some people have a very set destination and they have a very clear, defined and structured method. So one painter locally grids their paintings and then works, and I obviously don't know the detail behind that, but then works up the detail within each grid and then slowly but surely builds it. Mine is very much, as I said, an emergent process. So it's going with an idea and then trying to capture it, and it's playful. So it's just playing and going, what if I do this, and what might happen if I do that, and just noticing where it is that I want to go. So I'm very in tune with what's going inside of me as I'm painting, and that's my method. And it might not be yours. Some people have a very defined set stages method, and I suppose there are stages within mine. So first stage is very much about just putting random marks down onto the canvas. I will have thought about some sort of colour beforehand that I will want to show through in terms of the painting, and I also play with complementary colours. So looking at contrasts is very important to me in method. Play is really important in part of my method. Going with what's coming up in the moment. I also rotate my canvas. So that could be using the parallels of that, is that thinking about different perspectives, different ways of doing things. So I rotate my canvas as I'm painting. I do use sketches, and I do actually paint sometimes from photographs, but at some points I choose to use those, and sometimes I paint where I'm just going from the memory of the place to actually inform the painting. What else in terms of, so I paint until I feel stuck, and I normally paint more than one painting at the same time. Apart from the fact that that's quite good in terms of colours and paints, I do find that one tends to be looser and one's tighter. And actually, while I'm thinking out one thing, it helps me with the other. So working in parallel works really well for me. I also try, because I tend to work on courses, I take a lot of canvases with me. So I have a sort of rough plan that I am painting a number of paintings in one go over that time period. And I will have done some very lightweight thinking beforehand about different sizes. And it could be that I just want to play with different sizes. So I might, and I'm playing with this opposable mind thing at the moment about working big and small at the same time, which is really helpful, and working 2 paintings up at the same time. One might be following one type of process, one might be following a similar one but different. Or if I'm on an artist course, I will be trying to follow their process and then following an adaptation of that with my own painting at the same time. Or sometimes I might be just doing something completely different. So really thinking around what your process is, what your method is. Are you a structured person? Are you an emergent person? What works for you? What creates the energy? And I've already talked about groups and ideas and capturing and all of that good stuff. So I work until I get stuck, and then I move on to the other one. And then I work with that till I get stuck, and then I move on to the other one. And then I, somewhere along the line, will sleep on things. I take photos as I go along, so I'm recording and actually looking at things from that slightly objective view really helps in terms of my art practice as well. And then I go and sleep on it, and I will come back to it the next day, because generally I'm on a 2-day or 3-day or 4-day or 5-day course, and I will know. I'll look at it and I'll get a sense of whether it's right or not. How do I know when it's finished? It makes me smile. I get to use an expression, an inner smile. It makes me happy, and I know that my painting is finished then. Some artists paint very much by thinking things through and really thinking about what it is that they want to do. As I said, mine is an emotion-based process. So perhaps noticing that. Is it thoughts? Is it emotions? Is it the combination of the both? So, method. What is your method? What works for you? What gets you to where you want to go? Have a think. Have a play. See what works for you.